Hello everyone, let's get started. This will be a quite quick video. I came across recently about some figures of Target2 from Europe, the European system. And please check out the PDF, the link to the PDF I have in the description. There you will find a link from the European Central Bank where I took those figures from. Now what I want to try to illustrate in this video is basically that my assumption from another video where I have been playing around with figures from HSBC as probably being one of the early banks getting on RippleNet. There I came to the conclusion that HSBC alone could easily bring a transaction volume of 200 millions millions per hour. In this video I will show you that this figure is not so off the world. In the Target2 system, in the maximum we could have like almost every 3 seconds a 50 million transaction. I will explain why this figure could be wrong, and it could be 30 seconds or a minute, but it's still 15 times more than what I proposed in my earlier videos. So let's quickly look at those figures. The first column I have taken from that link I have provided here. So the average transaction value in Target2 is 5 million. They transact 1.7 trillion every day. The total amount of transactions is per day 340,000. They gave a figure how many of those 340,000 are below 50,000 euros, which is 70%, and they said I think 10% are above a million. So basically this means between 50,000 and a million there would be 20% of the transactions. Okay, so that's column 1. Now column 2, I basically applied these percentages to the value of daily transactions, just the amount of transactions, which gives us these figures. So you see the sum is again 340,000. Now I have assumed an average value per transaction. I just calculated the I don't know how it's called, median, the center between 0 and 50k, between 50k and a million, and divided by 2. Of course that figure could be off quite a lot, which would bring the purple figures down or up, most likely up, which would bring the green figure down, or the last column where I talk about seconds. However, when we assume that the average value below 50k is 25k, then we arrive at roughly 6 billion of this 1.7 trillion. And the values, the average, assumed average value of transaction between 50k and a million, I assumed 475,000, which brings us to 32 billion. Okay, which leaves us for the values above with 1.6 trillion. So basically like 95% of the value of the transactions is higher than a million, okay? The average would be, in my calculation, roughly 50 million per transaction. When we calculate per day, I think a day has 84 or 8, I think it's 86,400 seconds divided by these 34,000 transactions in that area, we would get to a value of every 3 seconds in the Target2, a 50 million transaction is being transacted. I want to repeat, those figures, the purple ones, are just assumptions. This could be higher, which would mean the green figure here is lower, which would increase the seconds. But even if I'm factor 10 off or factor 20, we're still at the 50 million transaction every minute, which is still kind of 15 times higher than the values I have proposed when I was calculating with the proposed values from HSBC alone. With that, I will leave you alone and wish you a nice day again. Bye.